You probably already know the analogy of a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest, but today you're going to see the sim racing equivalent. Thanks to a typically catastrophic start at Monza, I've got to try and complete the entire race with only 3 fully functioning wheels. Now, it's a 20-minute GT3 sprint in Le Mans Ultimate, and to make it even more difficult, it's a single-make series in a car I've never driven before, the Mercedes AMG LMGT3. I've qualified in P8, but any hopes I had of fighting for the top 5 here are quickly replaced by just trying to make it to the checkered flag. Can I somehow cling on to a respectable position? Can I even survive? Let's find out. So here we go then. What can I do from the 4th row of the grid? Starting alongside Mattia Salvati, I'm going to have the outside run to the first chicane. And anyone who's ever raced Monza knows that this first corner is a lottery. So it's all about self-preservation, trying to keep myself as safe as I possibly can. And no sooner do I say that, there's a big crash right in front of me. I've got nowhere to go. All I can do is get hard on the brakes, and I've somehow managed to avoid it. Oh, but I'm not so lucky in turn 1. A little tap from behind starts spinning me round. There was some secondary contact which got me back facing in the right direction again, but at what cost? It looks like I've picked up some fairly severe damage to the right front wheel there. Yeah, my steering wheel's crooked, it's chattering away, vibrating aggressively in my hand. This does not look good at all. And I started this race with aspirations of a top 5 challenge. At the moment, I don't know if I'm going to see the first lap out. I mean, I actually got off fairly lightly in terms of track position. I only lost 4 places down to P12, but that is not the issue. The big story is that damaged front right. But let's go back and take another look to see if we can get to the bottom of exactly what happened. Now, we're keeping an eye out for the bright yellow Mercedes of Mattia Salvati alongside me on the 4th row of the grid. Yeah, we just couldn't quite see from that camera angle whether he got hit from behind or whether he just lost control on his own. So let's ride on board with Attila Acker, who started right in front of him, P5. This will give us a better angle. Yeah, there wasn't any contact at all. It looks like Salvati just got caught out by the cars braking in front of him. He tried to swerve, but that just sent him into a catastrophic spiral. Look how well I did to get on the brakes, react in the nick of time and not pick up any contact, but it didn't last. Into turn 1. The first tap from Kęstutis Niara, the second tap from John Nurmi. And to be honest, they both look so innocuous, but sometimes the smallest of touches can cause big damage, and that is now what I've got to contend with over the next 18.5 minutes here at Monza. And I've got to quickly adapt to how this car now feels. Actually, turning right isn't too bad. Turning left is a real challenge. And I suspect I'll be down on top speed as well, so that is going to cause another big problem on these fast Monza straights. John Nurmi behind, just having a look into the parabolica then. He thought better of it, so I am going to maintain this P12 coming towards the end of the first lap. But for how long, I don't know. And I'm already losing a lot of ground to the pack of cars in front. Kane Eagle is in P11. He's nearly 1.5 seconds ahead already, and I've got a request from the pit crew to come in and change that wheel. Well, if I do that, it really will be race over, so I'm going to ignore that request for the minute. I'm just going to try and keep myself ticking over. I've given Nurmi the inside line into T1. He's taken P12, but it looks like there is big carnage, a huge cloud of dust. Yellow flags are out. Have we gained any positions from that? Well, there's one. That is Kane Eagle rejoining, and it looks like we've lost Attila Acker as well. So yeah, 2 positions gained. And what happened to Acker? Well, he's running in P5 as we approach this first chicane at the start of lap 2. Oh, it is a huge dive bomb from Kasper Karasinski. And that was a big lapse in judgment. Karasinski trying to move down the inside. He's trying a double overtake. He's never going to get it stopped. And he careers into Attila Acker. End of the second lap then, tiptoeing through the parabolica. I'm still trying to adjust to the new feel of this Mercedes. It is not handling easily at all, but I'm in P11. I am within 0.4 of a second of the top 10. Actually, I'm going to be in the top 10 because there goes Kasper Karasinski down into pit lane. I'm not surprised that he needs repairs after that shunt a lap ago. Yeah, as feared, I am down on top speed as we come down these fast straights. I've got no chance of overtaking in this race. I'm just going to have to play it safe and try and pick up freebies as and when they come. I'm actually going backwards now because I've just lost a position to Kawaluki. Now, I did see Luki coming down the inside into T1, but I just don't want to start defending while I'm unsure of how this car is handling. It just seems too much of a risk to start trading blows and trying to fight with drivers when I know I'm down on pace. So instead, what I'm going to try and do is stick with these guys, keep within striking distance, and maybe, just maybe, get a couple of freebies. And of course, with another lap or two under my belt, I will have a better idea of what this car now can and cannot do. So there's every chance I'll feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more confident within the next couple of laps. But for now, the aim is very much just to stay as close as I possibly can to Kawaluki in P10. He's just 0.4 of a second ahead at the moment. So yeah, I have not given up on my hopes of a top 10. I've certainly given up on the top 5 that I mentioned at the start of the race. But top 10, I still think that could be realistic. You know, just drive with a bit of common sense and don't push beyond my abilities here. It's getting really close though. Well, that is 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th concertinaing together as we go through Ascari. Actually include P12 in that too, because Kęstutis Nuora wants to join in as well. He's just 0.2 of a second behind, so I'm going to occupy the defensive line here. Not because I'm particularly focused on defending at this point in the race, mainly because there was nowhere else to go, but it does give me the inside line through the Parabolica, and I will hold off Nuora for now. Nuora has dropped a couple of tenths, actually 0.4 of a second back now as we cross the line to start lap 4. Well, we're at quarter race distance and that front right has stayed on, so that is a positive at least. Meanwhile, look in front. Lukey sizing up a move up the inside of John Nurmi as we approach T1. This is exactly what I need. The more these guys battle with each other, the more I'll be able to keep up with them. I may actually get an opportunity to pass Nurmi here because I've got a much better line through the chicane. Even with my steering problems, I was able to execute a switchback of sorts to get alongside Nurmi. I was faster exiting the turn, but yeah, here is where my lack of top line speed is going to cost me. Look at Nurmi. He seizes the advantage back now. He's almost picked up a car's length advantage. I don't want to sling it up the inside into this second chicane, so I do just back off. So maintaining this P11 for now. There's a car parked up to the right. Is that a position gain? No, it's not, because it's Maxim Terekov, a back marker. So it's as you were. I'm still in P11. Kawaluki is making a break for it by the looks of it. He's taken that P9 and is clearing off. He's 1.5 seconds clear, so I may not be able to keep up with Luke here, but it certainly looks like I've got the pace to keep up with John Nurmi. And of course, it was the contact from Nurmi that gave me the wheel damage in the first place, so you never know. He could possibly have picked up some damage himself in that incident. If he has done, we might be on a level playing field here. I could yet challenge for the top 10. However, I'm sure that Kęstutis Nuora will want to have something to say about that, because he is kept within half a second behind in P12. But yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident now. I know the car's got its limitations, but I do think that I've found the pace now to match both the driver in front and the driver behind. Right, into the Parabolica for the 4th time. Oh, Nurmi's completely missed the apex there. He's run out really wide. This is an opportunity to get myself inside the top 10. Well, I've made the pass. I've pulled out a couple of car lengths already. I suspect those car lengths will disappear though as we reach top speed down the straight. Nurmi will start to close back in. So yes, I was a bit casual about defending earlier on in the race, but I'm going to take it seriously now. Now I've got myself inside the top 10, I am going to try and protect this position, taking the inside line into the chicane. There's no way through for Nurmi. I hold on to the position, exiting the chicane. What's the gap? 0.6 of a second. So yes, job done for now. I'm into 10th position and we've got half of the race still to go. But let's go back and take another look at this mistake from John Nurmi. Just ran in a little bit hot into the Parabolica. Can't keep it tucked in to the curb. Runs really wide. That is a gaping hole. I didn't need a second invitation to jump into that one. Alright, we've leapt forward now to the start of lap 6 and look at the gap that's opened up behind. Both Nuora and Nurmi are more than 1 second adrift now, so that is really good news. Meanwhile, I'm starting to close in on the 2 drivers in front. Kawaluki in P8 and Nick Domino in P9. I'm now within 1 second of both of them and I'm breathing down the neck of Domino. He may be feeling the pressure because he's a little bit wide into Lesmo 1 there. So what can I do here? Can I force Domino into a mistake? He's certainly looking ragged, and yeah, there we go. He's missed the apex into Lesmo 2. He's out into the gravel. That is the easiest overtake I will get all day. So I'm up into P9, starting to make real progress now as we look at the replay. And yeah, he's right out into the gravel there. Okay, back to the live action. We've jumped forward to 3/4 race distance, lap 8. And as you can see, I'm in a fairly lonely 9th position. There's 1.2 seconds back to Niora behind me. There's 2.4 seconds to Kawaluki in front of me. I've got no chance of catching up with Luki, but I'm hoping to stay well clear of Niora. However, that is not going to be the case. I'm starting to struggle. The steering wheel is vibrating so aggressively now. I'm pretty sure I lost a filling or two over that last lap. And there it is. There's the mistake. It was bound to come sooner or later. I just run in a bit too hot into Ascari. I can't get the car turned in. I run out over the curb, and all of a sudden that 1.5 second gap back to Niora has been halved. He is within 0.6 of a second. Well, that's really disheartening. It was 2 or 3 laps worth of really hard work to open up that 1.5 second gap, and in an instant it has been blown away. We're into the final 5 minutes now, so we've only got a few more laps left in this race. I suspect that Niora is going to close right in down this start-finish straight. I'm preempting it by going as defensive as I possibly can, but look at him in the rearview mirror. He is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as we approach T1. I think I'm just about far enough ahead to hold on to this position for now, but I am going to be under attack very, very soon. Every left turn, it feels like I'm wrestling the car, and I've lost this particular wrestling match because I oversteer out into the runoff area. That has given Niora the position, and I may have lost a second position too. I have done. That is Slucharenko Ivan breezing past me to take P10, so I'm down into P11 from P9. And all my own fault, this one. Firstly, the mistake in Ascari, but then this mistake. I'm just overdriving a little bit now, trying to hold on to the position. I gave it a bit too much gas, exiting the corner. The rear rolled around, and I'm out into the runoff area. So is there any hope at all of a top 10 finish left? Well, I've got this lap and one more after it to find out, but at the moment it is not looking good. Ivan has opened up a 1.2 second advantage in P10. I'm struggling to keep up with him here. So I think my only hope is going to be a mistake from the driver in front. Is that one there? He kicks up a little bit of dust exiting the chicane. It doesn't look like it's cost him that much time, though. Maybe a tenth or two. The gap now 1.1 seconds. So let's just keep chipping away at this. He's going to be watching his rearview mirror. He's going to be keeping his eye on me. And if he sees me getting a little bit bigger, that may put him under some pressure. 1 second now, the gap. So yeah, I am chipping away at it. I am getting a couple of tenths back. However, we're only going to have one more lap after this one. A couple of tenths isn't good enough. I need a mistake, and I need a big mistake quickly from Ivan. Well, ask and you shall receive. He's run into the gravel at Ascari. This is the opportunity I was crying out for, because all of a sudden I am right back on his tail and breathing down his neck. Just 0.2 of a second now the gap. Ivan is going to defend, and rightfully so. So I've got no choice but to move out wide to try and take the wider line. Oh, he switches. He comes across to block the line. So I move back to try and have a look up the inside, but I'm just not close enough as we come through the parabolica for the penultimate time. He's out wide into the gravel again. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to take a position and get back inside the top 10, and I've done it. Carried a lot more exit speed out of the parabolica as well. That will be vital, because I think I'll be far enough in front of Ivan for him not to challenge back into T1. Right, it is all hands on deck now. We're on the final lap. Can I hold on to this top 10 finish now I've got back into it? Well, one thing's for sure, I'm going to be cautious on the gas coming out of this corner after that mistake a couple of laps ago. But yeah, what is the gap? 0.4 of a second. So let's switch the TV cam on for this final lap. We can watch things from Ivan's on board as well. Remember in the first half of the race where I said I wasn't confident enough to defend? Well, we can forget about that now. I am going to defend with everything I've got to try and hold on to this P10. Oh, it wasn't a good line through that chicane. That has invited some unwanted pressure. Ivan's going to have a look. So yeah, I'm going to close off the inside line into Lesmo 1. I don't want to give him any opportunity at all to stick a nose up my inside. Now I know he's faster than me, and I know he's going to have the advantage down this back straight, so immediately I signal my intent. I move over to the defensive line, and I'm going to occupy this all the way down the back straight. If Ivan wants to pass, he is going to have to go the long way around into Ascari. I'd rather not go too wide into here, but it may come to that. Oh no, it doesn't. I've thankfully managed to hold on to a car length's advantage, so I get to Ascari first. I get out of Ascari first, and once again I'm going straight for the defensive line. No messing about here. If Ivan wants it, he is going to have to go out wide, but this is still very much an opportunity for the P11 driver because you can carry a lot of speed taking the wider line through the Parabolica with side by side. It is going to come down to whoever gets on the gas first. Coming out of the corner, it looks like I've managed it. I've pulled away a car length's advantage once again. Thankfully, the finish line is within sight and I take the checkered flag, holding on to the unlikeliest of top 10 finishes. Well, it certainly wasn't the race I'd planned, but having said that, I still really enjoyed it. It was a completely different type of challenge to the one I was expecting. But yeah, at the end, I got inside the top 10. I mean, my pace wasn't great, and my fastest lap in the race, a 152.8, was well off it. But I can't complain about that, given the first lap damage. But yeah, this race is a prime example of how even the most innocuous of crashes can change the whole race. I mean, it was an absolute miracle I escaped unscathed from Mattia Salvati's spin right in front of me. I mean, not only did I not run into Salvati, but also I didn't get drilled from behind, which happens 9 times out of 10 when you get on the brakes that hard at the start of a race. Ultimately, though, my luck ran out here with not one but 2 very slight taps that completely changed the course of the race and made it dramatic for all different reasons.